So, we got a Pokemon Indirect. That's what I'm going to call it. We got a whole bunch of Pokemon news. June 5th, which is after this episode and before the next episode, are that we're going to have a Pokemon Direct where we're going to get a whole bunch of official news. This, I believe, was the result of some sort of stockholders meeting or press conference or something, and we got a whole bunch of news there. Not all of it is awesome. Some of it is just sort of there. Some of it's a little confusing to me. Maybe I'm just not super duper. Gabby, I'm out of the loop on this one. Gabby, I'm not that far into the loop on this one. This is where I'm going to need the chat to help me out here just to clarify some things because I'm not entirely sure about how some of these things are supposed to work. So we got a follow-up to the Detective Pikachu game. So we're getting a second Detective Pikachu game for the Nintendo Switch. Apparently, according to this, the 3DS game has a cliffhanger. I didn't play Detective Pikachu, so I don't know. Pokemon Center, Shibuya is getting a Pokemon Center. That's not really relevant. There will be a Mewtwo statue at the entrance. More reason to go to Shibuya and see all of that stuff, but it'll probably be years before I can make it to Japan. That's one of my. I think that's one of my life goals right now is to make it to Japan. I want to do at least 10 days in Japan. Pokemon Quest China, nobody cares. Game Freak, Pokemon Home. Okay, so Pokemon Home is on this list is one of the first big things. Actually, you know what? Let's go through the other smaller stuff. Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Go Plus Plus, Pokemon is just Snorlax, blah blah blah. Okay, so that was the small stuff. So there's Pokemon Home. Yay, another Pokemon Center in Japan. I'm so happy. Let's talk about the first real Pokemon, Street Sharks. Dude, Mark, I have been told that A, they bite. That B, they fight. And I believe the word is still out on whether or not this is true, but it is believed that they do kick some fin. So Pokemon Home effectively is the Pokemon Bank, from what I understand, that you can upload your Pokemon to it and then you can use them in other games. As is my understanding, somebody can tell me that. It looks like you'll be able to use them in Sword and Shield. Based on this little graphic. Based on this graphic, what it looks like you can do is upload Pokemon from Go, from your Pokemon 3DS Bank, from Pikachu and Eevee. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and Sword and Shield. You can upload them to the home, and then you can download them to Sword and Shield. Because it only has the little arrows going back to Sword and Shield. I probably should have had that picture ready to go. So that's interesting. I don't know how I don't know how useful that is. I think this is only really relevant so they're becoming actual virtual pets. I don't know how useful that is unless you play all of these games. If you only play Pokemon Sword and Shield, your Pokemon don't need to go to Pokemon Home because they don't go to anywhere else. Because Pokemon can't go to anywhere. It doesn't look like they can come from the home to anything other than Pokemon Sword and Shield. What looks like is going to be helpful is that if you play one of these other games or you have the old Pokemon Bank, you'll be able to load all of this stuff over to Sword and Shield. I guess that's important. You guys, some of you have to be bigger Pokemon players than I am. I like Pokemon, but I don't get really super deep into the games just because there's so many of them and they're very samey. Sorry, a hot take, but Pokemon games are pretty samey. So somebody can tell me if any of this is going to be helpful for you, if any of this is going to be useful. I have Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, so that'll be nice to have only Gen 1 Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Hail Hydrate, drink your Wendy's soda. Not a paid promotion. So unless you play the past games, Pokemon Home is basically useless since you can't trade. Yeah, and that's the thing, Fox. That's exactly my question. I'm not going to be able to transfer them if all I'm playing is Sword and Shield. All I can do is transfer them to the bank, to the home, and then transfer them back to Sword and Shield. I don't know if that's relevant. Wait, that's not water. Rami, there's water in it. There's ice in it. The ice melted and it became water, so there's water in it. I just can't help but drink that other stuff too. For me, it's very helpful. Got to hold my shiny Gardevoir. Somebody told me, not the song, that they had one of their starters, I believe, or their Pikachu or something, since Pokemon Blue. That he transferred it over to the next gen after that, and he kept transferring it. And then at some point, he used the bank and then stored it, like when it went from Game Boy to Game Boy Advance or DS or something. He had one of his original Pokemon all the way from the beginning because he kept transferring it. He kept moving it. That would be kind of cool. You can't transfer from Gen 1 to present. Not from Gen 1 all the way to present, but Rooster, can you take, or at some point, could you have taken the original path all the way? Because you could transfer from Gen 1 to a Gen 2 game, right? And then Gen 2 to Gen 3, and then there was a point where it jumped systems, but then you could use the Pokemon Bank. I could swear there was some way to do it where there was a bridge that you could gap, or there was a gap that you could bridge. But it's something you had to have been doing a long time before, not something you can do now. Because what you need to do it doesn't exist anymore. It is possible, but it's a process and half judging from a video link card. Okay. I think you can. Yeah, that's what happened. You can do it from Gen 1 all the way up, but then at some point there's a bank that you need to transfer it to, and then you can transfer it to the other system. Like, it's possible to have some of your original Pokemon. It's not something worth doing now. It's kind of a chore. Well, Lizard, that's the thing. It's kind of a chore now because you would have to do it through every generation. But if you were doing it from the original game, when you were playing Red and Blue and you got the second gen, what was that, Gold and Silver, and you said, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to transfer it. And then the next generation come out and you said, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to transfer. Like, if you were doing it all the way through, it's not really a chore. You just do it once every generation. Now you'd have to sit down and bust out your link cables and your Pokemon banks, and then it would be a pain in the ass. Using the eShop version, you can transfer, but not using the physical game. See, I could have sworn you did it with the physical games, with the link cable. Everybody remembers the link cable? Remember that thing that if you were the one that had it, you were the most popular kid at the lunch table? I found a formula online. Seems legit. The heat of the meat is from... Omega. That's the math we're all looking for. Come on, laptop, work with me. I had the link cable. Yeah, Rooster, I had the link cable too. I think we went to the store one day and we all bought link cables, but then I was the only one that carried it around like I needed it to save my life. Game Boy Color games are not compatible. It started with the Gen 3 remake of Gen 1. Oh, okay. I was always alone at lunch. Oh, we played like dominoes and stuff, and then we played Pokemon. We played the hell out of Pokemon. I think I still have the link cable somewhere. I do. I still have that link cable. I want to say I have like 2 or 3 of them. I think I have the 4-way. I'm used to the noise now, but it's still always surprising. Welcome everybody from Player Michaelis's raid party of 5. Oh, is Nev Campbell here? I see party of 5. Oh, look at that, reaching back. We're going back into the past for that one. I'm not used to the noise. And remember the commercial of the Pokemon crossing the cable like a tight wire. Omega, I don't remember that. What I have seen is the picture of someone handing a Pokemon to Link, and he hands it over to Cable from the X-Men comics, from Marvel Comics, and then they hand it over to the next person, and then someone passes something back, and it's passing through the link cable. That was a deep ass cut. Yes, that's what we're all about. We're all about the deep cuts. We love the deep cut reference. I still have my link cable and my GameCube adapter. I still have the GameCube adapter. I think I have the 4-player tap somewhere, which the only game I think I used the 4-player for the original Game Boy was like Baseball 2000. What you said earlier, say again. I'm staying with my parents for 3 months. That's right. In this rental home until the new home is built in September. They'll move and I'll get this rental home until. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Rye, you've said it before. Every time you say it, I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna remember that you said it, and then I'm gonna forget about it 2 days later and ask you again. Yeah, this Pokemon news. Okay, so that's Pokemon Home. This is the one you're gonna have to explain to me. Pokemon Sleep. What is that? Is that going to track my dreams? Am I going to be catching Pokemon in my dreams? I don't actually know what this is. What does it do exactly? Like, does it track my sleep patterns? I mean, I have a device that does that. Pokemon Go, they have to sleep. I have a device that does that. I've got one of those discount Fitbit. It's like not Fitbit. It tracks my sleep, so it tells me when I'm in deep sleep, because you're supposed to have like an hour and a half, 2 hours of deep sleep per night, which I probably get less than that because I toss and turn a lot. So it tracks, it uses biometrics and sleep pattern. So that's basically it. It does exactly. I have another device that does that I wear. So that's all it is. But what does it do with the information? Like, the more deep sleep I get, the stronger my Pokemon get? I don't understand. Can my Pokemon use Dream Eater while I'm asleep? I'm starting to get concerned. And does it play a flute sound to wake me up? I really don't know what to do with this information. If you're dreaming of Pokemon, you should probably start cutting back on the anime. But I can help you train Pokemon. It sends your sleeping patterns to Nintendo. Well, now I'm really concerned. Basically plays the game for you while you sleep. When you wake up, it'll give you details on what happened while you were sleeping. My question is though, why? What does it need from my sleep? If I'm just asleep, so why do I need a tracker? Why can't you just give me downtime? World of Warcraft, and I think some other games do this too. While you're not playing the game, you develop what's called a rest buff. And you get an XP bonus for all the XP that you gain while your rest buff is active. Is like, that could just be like this. So why does there need to be a sleep device? It just tracks your sleep. Like what Fitbits do with their app. It tells you when you should sleep, how much water you should intake. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know what the numbers are going to do for the game. I don't know what. Oh, it says you slept for 6 hours, so your Pokemon went up 6 levels. In which case, I'm taking naps 4 times a day. Good. That just sounds awesome. That's the thing. I don't understand what numbers it's going to be looking for and what it wants me to do with those numbers. Yeah. So if I sleep all day, I get a Snorlax. I think if you sleep all day, Rocky Bear, you are a Snorlax. You're overthinking this. It's Game Freak's way of spying on us and sending personal information based on our sleep patterns to Nintendo so they know how to make Pokemon Directs better. Fox, I'm the one overthinking it. Pokemon Sleep exists, Darkrai. It's free real estate. Yeah, so I feel like there's not enough information on that Pokemon Sleep. I don't know what numbers it's looking for. I don't know what it's going to do with those numbers other than when it tracks your sleep, your Pokemon get stronger. Sort of like when you leave them at the daycare. I wonder if that's what it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's encouraging people to sleep and skip work. I'm all about it. Mark, why not sleep at work? get paid for it, and upgrade your Pokemon. Gotta be thinking. Always be ABT. Always be thinking. I thought if you slept all day, you were knocked out. Only if you decide to wake up at night. See, I sleep all day, and that makes me sleepier at night. I'm a certified bed... Hawk goggles. I thought that said certified bed taster. I honestly thought that said bed taster, and I was about to be extremely confused. You just came up with a $1 billion idea. The last one is the Pokemon Go Plus Plus, which, for the love of God, why did you call it that? I'm assuming this is just the Poke Tracker, the thing that came with Soul Silver and Heart Gold. I'm fine with that, because that's all that is, right? Isn't that just a fitness tracker? I heard bedwetter. Wing Zero. Then you definitely don't want a bed taster. The translator itself laughed when he read Pokemon Go Plus Plus. Like, I feel like you sound like you're taking a computer programming test. Like, oh, I'm trained in Go Plus Plus. Like, did you say C++? No, Go Plus Plus. I play a lot of Pokemon. He did? What? Yeah, so Pokemon Go Plus Plus, it looks like a device. It looks like an actual... Spark 1048 in the hunt with a sub 17 months in a row. That feeling when Pokemon Home comes out next year. Spark 1048, thank you so much for the sub. I very much appreciate it, especially since I saw your message on Discord, and I know that this is difficult. But thank you very, very much for that. I very much appreciate that. All proceeds go towards upgrading a new device on the stream, which I have announced is going to be my camera. But that's a later topic. It honestly sounds like a late April Fool's video that they forgot to really. Is there a chance this is a late April Fool's joke? I would have named it Pokemon Go. You know what, Fox? That's not a bad name. I know that it is a joke on My Hero Academia, but that's not a bad name. Pokemon Go Plus Ultra? That actually sounds really cool. Go Plus Plus and Knuckles. Real talk, I'm sleeping too much. I get up at 5 a.m. for work, and then I sleep until 6. I'm sick of being tired all the time. Jeffersonia, I wake up at about 4:30, 4:45 for work. I'm considering going back to the gym. If I do go back to the gym, I usually wake up at 3:45 and go at 4 a.m. and then go to work right after the gym. That's what I was doing. The last time I was actively going to the gym, that's what I was doing. Because I don't like going to the gym in the afternoon. The whole place smells like sweat, and the machines are busy, so I don't like it. In the coming future, we'll get Pokemon Go plus, 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 minus, plus. I like that we got a minus thrown in there. It's like binary. Eventually it's going to be like, oh, guys, did you check out Pokemon Go plus, minus, minus, plus, minus? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Shin Pokemon Go Armageddon. Got a lot of people out walking. Lilac, yeah, that's the thing. I love that idea. I love it because I loved when Pokemon Go came out. You could sit there and shout to whoever will listen that you thought that it was a stupid idea. But there were thousands, if not millions of people, myself and Beth included, who don't typically walk around our neighborhood, who were out walking, checking out new places, getting, like, it was very, very active, and it worked. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. I wish that we weren't having a heat wave when the game presented itself, because it was walking outside was a nightmare, but it got us walking, got us doing everything. If this works, if this gets everybody out there walking around and exercising without realizing they're exercising, this is awesome. Pokemon just wants to make its own programming language. So you got to transfer from C++ to Pokemon++. Yeah, it's Pokemon in real life. Almost half the country was obsessed with Go for a while. And I bet you tons of those people got to see some amazing things, like that girl that found the dead body, which I think was confirmed as legit. She was apparently walking in the woods. There was a creek or something nearby, and she needed water Pokemon. So she went. This is how the story goes. So she went to this area where not a lot of people typically are, and apparently found a dead body because she was out trying to catch Pokemon. Personally, I'm a fan of Pokemon Rising Revengeance. Oh, we went the first summer. We went to the beach, and we were on the boardwalk. You could tell half the people on the boardwalk were playing Pokemon Go. Every Pokestop on the boardwalk, and they were overlapping Pokestops. They all had lures in them. Everybody was just dropping lures, and it was ridiculous. I mean, I would say that I was getting out. I was out getting water Pokemon. Yeah, I would say I was getting out water Pokemon too. Yeah, I didn't kill him myself. I figured she might have actually killed him because he got to the Gyarados first. Oh, wait, what happened now? There's a walking mechanic tied to the new... Yeah, Mendez, I think that's what the Go++ is. I think the Go++ is a tracking device. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Sort of the Pokewalker or Pokestep. Somebody... What was the actual name of that thing? That came with Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold. That's what it did. It tracked... It was a step counter. And when you loaded it back to the game... It transferred your steps. It transformed them into XP for your Pokemon, I believe. I thought Pokemon Go gave society a day of peace and friendliness to all because everyone was playing it and I was enjoying. Yeah, mind you, I say day because that's how long. No, Mark, you'd be surprised. I was playing Go for a while, and there were tons of people. I would go tons of places and see. You could clearly see people were playing Pokemon Go. For a while, I was working in Center City. I was collecting tickets for people getting on the train or going down to the platform. And I would constantly see people walking, like they were getting their tickets out of the back of their phone. They have like these phone, like little holders for your passes and stuff. And I would see them doing it, and you could see on the screen they were playing Go. Tons and tons of people for a while. I still, every once in a while, see somebody playing Go. I can't believe it. Pokemon Go also apparently caused a lot of car accidents. That's not surprising. So yeah, all of this news is, it's obviously legitimate news because this was some sort of press conference, but I think this was an investors meeting. Next, the 5th? It's the 5th. I don't know if that's a Wednesday. I think that's a Wednesday. We'll get an actual Pokemon Direct, and they'll actually tell us what these things are all about. Does PA have heavy train usage? Not necessarily. We have a regional train network down here. It's called SEPTA, Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. Inside the city, it's a bus network, and then there's 2 subway. One of them is the subway. One of them they call the L because it's actually an elevated train outside. Those are the only 2, like, you know how New York has subways everywhere? We have buses everywhere, and then we've got 2 subways, or 2 trains that function as subways. Then we also have what I work for, which is called the Regional Rail. These are trains that go an hour and a half out of the city. But everything meets inside Center City. It is basically the transit system for Philadelphia, for a large-scale regional area. Pokemon Go for a walk. But I only have 2 Pokestops. Dragoon Knight, we have a couple Pokestops near us, which is why we started walking to other ones. And yeah, we actually found out some pretty cool areas in our neighborhood thanks to Pokemon Go. It isn't E3. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's not next week. It's the week after. I think E3 itself starts next week, but the video game stuff, which is the stuff that we care about, I don't think is until the week after. Or it's the week after, and then it's a week after that. I don't know. Houston has bus transit and light train. Yeah, allow that. Yeah, something like that. We have a little something like that. We also have a light sort of trolley system. I literally think that there's 2 of those. Alrighty.